Ajay sir, shall we start? Okay. I hope I'm visible and audible to everyone. Vivek, can you please confirm
Yes,
that?
Anjali, you are.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I, Anjali Singh, student convener of the Moot Court Society of Law Center 2, welcome you all to today's orientation program. I am privileged to represent one of the largest and most active co-curricular societies of Law Center 2 and also to host you all here today. I thank our honorable faculty members and students who have joined us. I request everyone to please keep their audio and video off throughout the session. After the rousing success of our last induction process in September, where we welcomed 35 new members to the MCS family, we received an overwhelming response from new and old students to hold a round of induction so that more people could learn the art of mooting. Hence, we are here with another round of the common induction moot starting from today's orientation. This time around, we have adopted a new pattern to make the induction process an enriching experience in itself. In the coming weeks, we shall be holding a workshop to help students brush up their oral submission skills. Students participating in the induction moot can also view our previous workshops on legal research, memorial drafting, and other aspects required for mooting. These videos are available on the Law Center 2 YouTube channel under the Moot Court Society playlist. Students who are selected through this induction process will remain members of the MCS throughout their life at law school. Our members get access to competitions all over the world and are eligible to represent Law Center 2. We regularly hold mooting workshops that, though are open to all, are specifically catered to the needs of the MCS members. All updates regarding competitions and activities of the MCS can be found on our LinkedIn page and on the Law Center 2 website. Every year, the Moot Court Society of Law Center 2 organizes its flagship S.K. Puri Memorial International Moot Court Competition that witnesses participation from teams across the country and from countries across the world. We also support our members to participate not just in moot court competitions, but also in a variety of competitions like trial advocacy, arbitration moots, and client counseling. Our members have also been active participants in legal essay and judgment writing competitions. Recently, our members have bagged achievements, putting Law Center 2 prominently on the map. Jyoti Singh won the first prize at the first national essay writing competition organized by Ananta College in Hyderabad. The team of Ritu, Mantur Saipriya, and Vivek Kumar Chaudhary bagged the best memorial for respondent at the I.M. Nanavati Memorial National Moot Court Competition organized by GLS University in Ahmedabad. And Deepthi Kant and Tushar Gupta, two of our members, are currently campus ambassadors for Law Center 2 at Bar and Bench. With that, I would like to introduce and welcome faculty members whose unwavering support enables all activities of the MCS. Professor Dr. Kiran Gupta, our teacher convener, is the best mentor and guide that an aspirational society can ask for. Ma'am's enthusiasm and encouragement for all endeavors that the MCS undertakes enables us to aim higher and achieve better. Ma'am has had an illustrious career spanning 4 decades at the faculty, where she has handheld several batches of students to attain their true potential. We are honored to have you with us, ma'am. Has ma'am been able to join us today?
No.
Okay. It seems like Kiran ma'am could not be here at this moment, and we hope to hear from her soon. Along with MAM, the MCS is blessed to have the able guidance of our faculty members, Professor Vageshwari Deswal, Professor Dr. Belu Gupta, Professor Dr. Parikshit Sirohi, Professor Dr. Ashutosh Acharya, Professor Pramod Tiwari, and Professor Sumiti Ahuja. Along with the MCS team teacher members, we are also grateful to Professor Ajay Sanavne for his technical assistance and constant support for all our activities. The day-to-day activities of the MCS are managed by an executive committee of 6 members, including myself, Vivek Maheshwari and Himanshu Bansal, deputy student conveners, Deepthi Kant and Sai Priya, secretary and joint secretary respectively, and Vasundhara Kaushik, our communications manager. The executive committee is routinely assisted by volunteers from among the MCS members, as well as the largest student body of Law Center 2. With that, and without further ado, I'd like to proceed to the most awaited portion of today's orientation, the demo moot. This moot presentation is meant to introduce the process of oral submissions in a moot court competition. It will familiarize our participants with the etiquettes and processes of oral submissions. The demo moot will be presented by our members Abhinandan Jain and Sai Priya from the side of the petitioners, and Ms. Deepthi Kant and Ritu for the respondents. Professor Dr. Parikshit Sirohi has graciously agreed to be the judge for this demo. Himanshu Bansal, our deputy convener, will be the court master. Himanshu, please.
Thank you, Anjali. As per the rules of the oral round, we will be giving 15 minutes time for speaking to each of the team, and for which buzzer round at 7 minutes and 12 minutes respectively. I would like to invite speaker 1 from petitioner side to advance with their arguments.
Abhinandan, before you begin, yes, I was just waiting for Dr. Sirohi. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Yes,
Doctor, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Council seeks permission to initiate the proceedings. Warm greetings of the bench. The council seeks permission to address the bench as your lordship.
Sure.
Much obliged, your lordship. May it please your lordship, this is council appearing on behalf of petitioners in the case of Virag Motors, Krishna Cast, Jolly Motors, and Saath and NGO versus Union of Indonesia. In this instant case, your lordship, the petitioner will be dealing with 3 different issues of law. The first issue is regarding the maintainability of this petition. Second is whether this impugned policy is arbitrary and unreasonable. Third is whether the vehicle scrappage policy is violative of fundamental rights under Constitution of Indonesia. Well, your lordship, I will be dealing with the first issue, and my co-counsel will be dealing with second and third issue later. I'll be speaking for a total of 6 minutes, and my co-counsel will be speaking of 9 minutes.
Okay.
The council seeks permission to briefly acquaint your lordship with the facts of the case.
Yes, please take 1 minute and tell us your understanding of the facts.
Much obliged, lordship. Given facts in a nutshell are that the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways of Indonesia has enacted a policy which says that all vehicles over 10 to 15 years will be scrapped, but exemption is given to vehicles like tractors, tillers, harvesters, which is illogical. Further, a penalty of 20,000 is imposed and vehicle will be seized if not complied with the policy. There was lots of hue and cry in the various cities owing to this policy, because of which various PILs were filed and by many traders and distributors of second-hand cars in this honorable court after this notification was passed. The Supreme Court clubbed all these PILs of similar nature as one writ petition under Article 32 of Indonesian Constitution and initiated the proceedings.
Counsel, you have mentioned that it is illogical to give exemption to tillers and tractors and other similar vehicles. Why do you feel so?
Lordship, it is violation of Article 14.
How is it violation of Article 14? Article 14 says equality amongst equals. So these vehicles, are they supposed to be running on the road or are they supposed to be running in the fields? Are they supposed to be specialized vehicles or are they supposed to be goods vehicles or passenger vehicles?
They are goods vehicle, but your lordship, there are different criteria on which the vehicle should be judged.
What does Article 14 say?
Article 14 says right to equality.
Right to equality or right to equity?
Equality.
And is the concept same, equality and equity?
No, they are different, sir.
So I should be treating, by your logic, I should be treating a 4th year law student with the same logic as a 2nd year law student?
Not your lordship.
Okay, please proceed.
Much obliged, your lordship. If the facts are clear, Lordship, may I proceed with the issues in hand?
Yes, please.
It is humbly submitted that the present it is maintainable under Article 32 of the Constitution as a
When you
fundamental.
are saying that, just one question, Your Lordship, which you have posed before us, that they have decided to impose this in 8 metropolitan cities. Maybe there you could make out a case. Why these 8? Why not another 2? Why not another 10? So maybe the categorization of those 8, maybe you could have raised a question. I'm just prompting before you. Okay. Yes, please proceed.
Your Lordship, it is submitted that the present date is maintainable under Article 32 of the Constitution as the fundamental rights of the petitioner have been violated here.
Why don't you go to the High Court?
Your Lordship, the petitioners herein are manufacturers, dealers of second-hand cars who are dealing interstate. So the decision of the respective High Court will be applicable on their respective state only. However, decision of Apex Court won't have the same effect since due to Article 141, it will be applicable on whole Indonesia and not only in a particular state. So it's more appropriate to approach Supreme Court instead of High Court.
You are coming because it is pan-India effect. Okay, fair enough. Yes.
Lordship. Now coming back to the argument, Lordship, it is humbly submitted that the petitioner herein are dealers and companies who are in business of second-hand cars whose fundamental right to carry on any occupation, trade or business under Article 19(1)(g) has been violated.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, there has been a gross violation of right to livelihood under Article 21 of the Constitution as a policy in question enacted by state is in absolute contrary to the welfare of middle class, lower middle class population of Indonesia who constitute half of the population.
Okay.
Moreover, this policy is arbitrary in nature, therefore it is in violation of Article 14 also.
What is the policy with regards to two-wheelers?
There is no policy, it is dealing with four-wheelers only.
Only four-wheelers. So do you think the government has gone wrong? Should a similar policy have been introduced for two-wheelers? After all, it is not as if only four-wheelers are polluting. What about two-wheelers?
Your Lordship, my co-counsel will be dealing with this issue in detail.
Okay. Yes, fair enough. Please continue then.
Indeed, Your Lordship. It is further submitted that the maintainability of a writ petition for enforcement of fundamental rights can be questioned only on grounds where there is any disputed question of facts or there is any question of law that has been raised in abstract or it is malicious in nature or there is a drafting of petition in undignified manner or any another ground of lashes, delays or accusations. In this instant case, Your Lordship, none of the aforementioned exceptions exist and hence the petitioner have a locus standing in this instant case.
Okay.
From this
Counsel, you have said that you have a fundamental right. It will impact the rights of the people who are in second-hand business, etc., second-hand trade of these goods, these vehicles. So, is it a fundamental right to remain in business?
Indeed, Your Lordship, my co-counsel will be dealing in this issue in detail about the fundamental rights.
No, but if we were to ask you, we will ask the co-counsel to give advanced arguments. But what is your view on this? Because this is also connected because you are actually arguing on Romesh Thapar. And one of the points that Romesh Thapar brings in is this. The fundamental rights of the second-hand dealers. This is your first issue. So, yes.
The council humbly submits that it is according to Article 19 of the Constitution of India.
Which provision of 19?
19(1)(g) to be specific.
And what about 19(6)? More specifically, 19(6) subclause 2? That the right to carry on business can be completely taken away by the state. 19(6), more specifically 19(6) subclause 2.
Indeed, Your Lordship. As I am running short of time.
Okay, please proceed.
Please. Indeed, Your Lordship. From the above submissions, the council humbly submits that the present petition is maintainable under Article 32 of the Constitution. If a Lordship does not have any question, the council seeks permission to call the learned co-counsel for further proceedings.
Sure.
Much obliged, Lordship.
Uh, Warm greetings to the bench. May it please this honorable court. This is the counsel for petitioner rises to continue the submission on issues articulated in page number 15 and 21 of the memorial, challenging the vehicle scrappage policy enacted and implemented on February 1st,
So what are
2019.
the rules? What are the specific issues that you are going to be arguing on, counsel?
Your Lordship, I am arguing firstly on the impugn policy under which the notification has been issued, which is unreasonable under Article 14, which incorrectly subjects to stop flying of vehicles on the road. And secondly, I will be dealing with the said policy
So you are
is
saying
violating.
that this policy is not correct. So first of all, satisfy us on the test of rationality. Are you aware of the test of rationality? 4 principles have been laid down.
Your Lordship, is it about the class legislation?
No, class legislation is actually equity and equality, which we have already asked the co-counsel. But there is a proportionality test which has been laid down. Are you aware of some such test in some such case?
My
You have
apologies, Your
actually
Lordship.
referred it in your memorial. So
Your
the
Lordship, we are
proportionality test.
contending. Yeah. Thank you, Your Lordship, for the question, but we are contending the issue on the basis of class legislation.
Okay, fair enough. Continue.
Thank you, Your Lordship. Uh, so we are articulated, the issues are articulated in page number 15 and 21 of the memorial, challenging the policy and the notification under the said policy dated 12th September 2019, issued by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. As I mentioned, I will be dealing the two issues regarding Article 14, and in the second, in the further issue, I'll be dealing with Article 19(1)(g) and 21 of the Constitution of Indonesia. Your Lordship, moving to the submissions, Council requests Honorable Bench attention to the following 2 points. The present policy in question places vehicle owners of same class on different footing by giving exemption to the farm and agricultural equipment such as tractors, tillers, and harvesters, as mentioned in para 8, point number 3 of the Moot proposition, which led to class legislation, which is
How?
not
Please
permissible
satisfy
by.
us on that. We asked the co-counsel also. How is it possible? Because in our understanding, it is not the case. Article 14 does not say that everybody should be treated the same way. Rather, if we treat everybody the same way, it is actually going to be wrong. So, yes, we have to treat people similarly situated. So these people are not similarly situated. These vehicles are meant for working on the farm. They are not meant to be plying on the roads. It is a road scrappage policy.
Indeed, Your Lordship. Be that as it may, Your Lordship, Article 14 prohibits class legislation but only permits the reasonable classification, which must not be arbitrary, artificial, or evasive in nature. And it was also held by Honorable Supreme Court in the case of D.S. Nakara versus Union of India, AIR 1983. SC 130, which is mentioned in page number 16 of the petitioner's memorial, that it must satisfy the two tests of classification being founded on intelligible differentia, which distinguishes person or things that are grouped together, and the differentia must have the rational nexus. Here, Your Lordship, one could argue that there is a rational nexus between the basis of classification and the object, but here we vehemently contend that the exemption given to the owners of agriculture and farm vehicles, which also cause pollution like any other motor vehicles do, make such a nexus weak and also as an inadmissible one. Hence, we submit that the impugn policy in question is wholly arbitrary in nature under Article 14. Moreover, Your Lordship, in the by the Honorable Supreme Court in the case of P.P. Royappa versus State of Tamil Nadu, which is mentioned in page number 17 of the memorial, says that the equality is antithetical to arbitrariness. Equality and arbitrariness are sworn enemies. Further, Council would rely on Avani Exports and Others versus Commissioner of Income Tax Rajkot, which is mentioned in page number 20. It was reiterated that, as envisaged in Article 13, Clause 2, the legislation shall not make any law which takes away or abridges the equality clause in Article 14. And if that act infringes the provisions of Article 14 of the Constitution, it must be struck down as unconstitutional, one, Your Lordship. And moreover, your lordship, petitioner duly submits that the method of calculation of the scraping charge paid to the vehicle owners and the amount of the same has not been clarified by the state. It can be plainly observed that this so-called incentive or the charge to be paid is unreservedly vague. And further, the draconian nature of the policy, as given in the para 8 of the Moot proposition, is that the policy shall attract a fine of rupees 20,000 and the vehicle will be seized if not adhere to the policy. Is unduly harsh and arbitrary, which is also
So
a
again,
punitive in
Council,
nature.
I would just bring your attention to your own Moot memorial, and it is the proportionality principle that you are arguing. It is page number 19 of your Moot memorial. So I asked you a very simple question. Where is this proportionality principle coming from? Where was it laid down? Where was it developed?
Your Lordship, as of now, we are just basing our case on the class legislation. So,
No, you are referring to proportionality principle. I am reading from your memorial, clause number 2.2, para number 19, page number 19.
yes, Your Lordship, but
Is this
we are
not your case? You are saying proportionality principle used in fundamental rights revolves around balancing and necessity. Where is this coming from?
indeed, Your Lordship.
This is a very important principle. So what is this? Your case is based on, what is it based on?
Yes, Your Lordship. The case is that indeed.
Are you aware of modern dental college?
Yes, Your Lordship, but
There are
Council is
4
not
rules
aware
which are
of
laid
the
down. There are
facts.
4 rules which are laid down in modern dental college. These rules have been used in Puttaswamy. So what are those rules and how are they applied to this case?
Indeed, Your Lordship, going to the necessity and the proportionality, they are that which basically means that if it is necessary, then only the policy should be enacted or implemented.
So what are the
If
less
there are
invasive measures
alternative
that we
measures,
should take? If this is according to you, necessity is not there, what are the other measures that can be taken? Please suggest.
indeed, Your Lordship, this is just an alternative measure which a government could have taken into consideration. If Your
What
Lordship,
alternative measures?
the,
Please suggest some.
yes, Your Lordship. I am. Section 59 of Motor Vehicle Motor Vehicle Act talks about power to fix the age limit of vehicles. But our contention in this regard is that distance covered by a vehicle will be a better yardstick rather than the age of the vehicle. There are n number of vehicles which may be over 15 years old but have not covered that many kilometers.
See, Council, if we were to go by that yardstick, today, if we are going to fix as per number of years, somebody will have a problem. Tomorrow, if we fix as per number of kilometers, then somebody will have a problem. Day after tomorrow, somebody will say, as per kilometers, as per age, it is not correct. I keep my vehicle very well maintained. So, how much of pollution that is being emitted, whether it is 3 units of pollution or whether it is 10 units of pollution, that will become a bone of contention. So, what is the alternative model that you suggest?
Indeed, Your Lordship, just the Council would like to take an example here. For an instance, on the basis of the aforementioned alternative measure, there are like school and college buses that only run in the mornings and evenings and do not ply on weekends and vacations, which indicates that scraping of these vehicles is not justified and admissible.
In the commercial vehicle policy, which is in this vehicle scrapping policy, are commercial vehicles and private vehicles treated the same way?
Yes, Your Lordship.
So
there is only difference between 10 and 15 years age. Like it, the difference is also given to the petrol.
So whether it is a
vehicles
personal vehicle or whether it is a taxi, if it completes 10 years or 15 years, depending on the fuel, it will be scrapped.
Indeed,
Fair enough. Okay, point noted. Yes.
Council would like to move to the third issue here.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Lordship. Much obliged. The first link of this argument is that under Article 19(1)(g), every citizen has the right to choose employment or take up any trade or occupation as per his volition and free will, subject to the reasonable restrictions under Article 19 Clause C. Council here would rely on Chintaman Rao versus the State of MP, 1950 SCR 759, which is also mentioned in page number 21 of
what does that case involve?
Your Lordship, in this case, there has been a provision of the central provinces and bearer regulation of manufacture of agriculture purpose act. In this act, 1948 act, a provision was struck down as
So
it
this
is
is
void.
concerning BDs, and this is the act is 70 years old, and the decision is 60 years old. Do you have any recent judgments? Lot of water has
Um,
flown down the Yamuna during that period.
Indeed, Your Lordship. But Council, as of now, we don't have any latest judgment as such. But Council can relate that uh, uh, case back with this to our present policy and petition.
See, Chintaman Rao is 1951 judgment. It is in fact now 70 years old. Then you will say State of Madras versus V.S. Rao. We are aware of those judgments. That is 1952 judgments. Om Kumar judgment is there. That is again, I think, 1955 judgment. So, but the modern day judgments you are not citing. What about modern dental college? What about Puttaswamy? What about the post Puttaswamy judgments? What about Internet and Mobiles Association? That is 2021 judgment. Why are you not citing those? Internet Mobile Association, Modern Dental College on proportionality. Yes.
Indeed, Your Lordship. But as these are landmark judgments, we have taken these judgments into
So, council, the
consideration.
ones which I am just mentioning to you, they are not landmark. Puttaswamy is not landmark. What is the strength of the court in Puttaswamy? How many benches? How many judges bench?
My apologies, Your Lordship. Council is
See,
not aware of about the
council, you are
code.
not even aware of the number of judges. Such a landmark judgment, such a recent judgment, and you are not even aware of the number of strength. What is the strength of Chintaman Rao? How many judges? So how are
My
you saying
apologies,
it is
Your
landmark? The two judge bench you are calling landmark. Seven judge bench you are not taking landmark. Is it reasonable?
Of course not, Your
And
Lordship.
then, and that too, you are quoting a judgment from 1951, and the 2017 judgment you are not quoting. Okay, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Lordship. Besides that, we just want to mention that the burden to prove that restrictions imposed by the act are reasonable is on the state, as held in the Muhammad Farooq was the state of Madhya Pradesh, and that burden is a substantial and heavy one. Moving to the second limb of the argument, Your Lordship, it is submitted that lakhs of people depend on their vehicles to earn their livelihood, ranging from taxi drivers to commercial truck drivers to the individuals who depend on that one vehicle to commute to work as well as to earn income for living. We contend that the pandemic has anyway slowed down work for the middle class and the lower middle class population, and implementation of policy of such nature will cause financial disruption in the lives of citizens. Moreover, Your Lordship, in the case of Olga Tellis versus Bombay Municipal Corporation, mentioned in page number 24 of the memorial, it was upheld that important facet of right to life under Article 21 is the right to livelihood, because no person can live without the means of living. That is the means of livelihood.
So, council,
Moreover, the
if you
same
wish
was
to carry out your livelihood in a particular manner, is it something which is guaranteed? Is it, yes, absolutely, Olga Tellis onwards, the Supreme Court has held that right to livelihood is an essential facet of right to life, because without the means of living, nobody can really have life. So, but is it the correct position if you were to say that you will choose the means of livelihood? Please answer
indeed,
very
Your
carefully.
Lordship.
Then how will you decide in the view of the five-judge bench of Supreme Court in Sodan Singh versus NDMC, New Delhi Municipal Committee? The five-judge bench says that no, this is not the case. Why do you not allow hawkers in Nehru Place? That is because of this judgment. That yes, you have a right to earn your livelihood, but not in a particular manner. Again, coded distillery says that you do not have the right to livelihood when you are doing the liquor business. It is subject to reasonable restrictions. That is why we spoke to you about 19.6. You have yourself quoted Sagir Ahmed, five-judge bench. So this argument does not cut water, counsel.
Indeed, Your Lordship, I see my time is up.
You can just
So
take another 1 minute to address these questions and then come to your prayer. No problem.
thank you, Your Lordship. In this case, the cab drivers and also the second-hand car dealers are dependent on this occupation and the business. So, if this policy is being implemented or in such nature in the time of the pandemic, that will disrupt the lives of the
Okay, fair enough, counsel. You are repeating your point. Please come to your prayer.
Thank you, Your Lordship. In the light of the facts presented, arguments advanced, and authorities cited, the petitioner humbly submit that the Honorable Supreme Court of Indonesia be pleased to adjudge and declare that the writ petition filed with the petitioner is maintainable and quash the impugned policy and the notification under it as violated the fundamental rights of the petitioners, and pass any other order which the court may deem fit in the favor of the petitioner, all of which is most respectfully submitted. It was an honor arguing before this bench.
Thank you, Madam Counsel. Yes, Courtmaster, respondents, please.
I would like to invite the speaker, one of the respondent team.
Warm greetings to all. May it please the court, the counsel seeks permission to address the bench collectively as your lordship. We will be presenting the respondent. I shall be the speaker one and present before this honorable court the brief facts of the case and issues related to the maintainability of the present writ petition, along with the issue of violation of Article 14 of the Constitution of Indonesia. And my co-counsel will be the speaker two and present the remaining issues and the prayer. I shall take 7 minutes and my co-counsel shall take 8 minutes for the same respectively. The counsel seeks your lordship permission to approach the dais.
Yes.
The counsel seeks your lordship's permission to begin with the brief facts of the case.
Give us your understanding of the facts in less than 1 minute, please.
Much obliged, your lordship. In the present case, the facts in a nutshell can be summarized as a policy has been enacted by the Minister of Road Transport and Highways in exercise of the powers conferred by Section 59 of the Motor Vehicles Act 1988 to tackle the air pollution problem, which says that all vehicles over 10-15 years will be scrapped with exemptions given to vehicles like tractors, tillers, and harvesters. The main purpose of the said policy is to preserve the ecosystem. There was lots of hue and cry in various cities regarding this policy, owing to which the
counsel, who is your client? Who has paid your fees, counsel?
I am representing the government of Indonesia here.
So who are you? Are you the Attorney General? Are you the Solicitor General? Are you the Central Government Counsel? Who are you, counsel?
I am the Attorney General.
Okay, please proceed, Mr. AG.
Much obliged, your lordship. If the facts are clear, your lordship, then the counsel seeks permission to start with the first issue.
Why have we asked you who you are? Because if you are the AG, then you are your fundamental duty is to do justice, not only win the case for your client. The AG has an exalted position under the Constitution. That is why we have asked you the question. Yes, please proceed.
Much obliged, your lordship. Regarding the first issue, which pertains to the maintainability of the present writ petition, before this Honorable Supreme Court of Indonesia, the Council humbly contends that the present writ petition is not maintainable.
Why do you say so?
Your Lordship, the writ petition should be there when there is a violation of fundamental right. And but
so they are claiming that there is a fundamental right under Article 19, under Article 21. So that comes under the jurisdiction of this court.
It does come under the jurisdiction of the court, but these rights are not being violated in the present case, and whatever the policy has been enacted.
Yes, satisfy us why this right is
my further submissions will satisfy this question, your lordship. So should I move ahead?
Yes, counsel, you are dealing with the first and second issue, or just the first?
Just first issue and the Article 14 violation of Article 14 from the second issue.
Fair enough.
So one part of second issue and the first issue.
Fair enough.
Much obliged, your lordship. The council submits that the decision cannot be questioned or raised before this honorable court because the petitioner are not an aggrieved party under Article 32 of Constitution of Indonesia, as they have not been deprived of their fundamental rights because nothing wrongful was done either directly or indirectly. Also, there is no violation of right to livelihood conferred under Article 21 because the policy that has been enacted is as per the procedure established by law. Similarly, violation of right conferred upon Article 19, Clause 1G also does not hold water.
But counsel, you are guilty of violating the proportionality principle, it appears. The rule is laid down in modern dental college. And so you have not followed, there are other ways to have achieved this objective. And it appears that you have not done those.
Your lordship, sir.
Yes, please proceed. Yes, you are audible. You are audible.
Oh, okay, your lordship. So, your lordship, regarding regarding the modern dental college case, in that case, the restrictions was asked to be imposed within the limits of the law, and the present in the present situation, whatever restriction is being imposed is within the limits of the law and in the interest of the general public, and that thus it is not an arbitrary or excessive in nature. So the government like to just the council would like to submit that these this policy is justified over here. Moving further, there has not been violation of Article 19, Clause 1G, because the restriction that is being placed over here is placed using Article 19, Clause 6. Because freedom of business is not uncontrollable, and reasonable restriction can be imposed on the basis
So are
of
these
this.
restrictions reasonable? You are absolutely right. The restriction has to be reasonable. So the Supreme Court has given rules on what is reasonable and what is not reasonable. So Chameli Singh is a good case. Chameli Singh says that three judges of the Supreme Court have said that the right to livelihood is part of Article 21 and also includes the right to take shelter. So if somebody is living on the pavement, you cannot remove him. If somebody is earning the livelihood on the pavement, you cannot remove him. So satisfy us on that, please.
Thank you for your question, Your Lordship. In the present situation, the environment pollution was being caused by the older vehicles, and regarding the survey that was conducted, the most
But there is no
common
logic
reason.
based on this council. You are having two-wheelers which are two-stroke engines. They are you are saying that they don't cause pollution, and the four-stroke engines which are more efficient, which are used in four-wheelers, you are saying they cause pollution. There is no logic in this contention. Number one, the private vehicles may be running 40-50 kilometers in a day. The commercial vehicles may be running 300 kilometers in a day. You are having the same rules for both. There is no logic in that. Insurance companies, battery manufacturers, they all have separate rules for the commercial vehicles and private vehicles. You have not applied your mind, it seems.
Your Lordship, the policy has been enacted as per by looking into all the consideration, and accordingly, some exceptions have been given.
No,
But
so
as
for
the
example,
government,
this is a fact. You can go and verify it from the how much the commercial vehicles run on an average on a daily or monthly or
I
yearly basis, and similarly the private vehicles. How can you have one rule for both? And again, there may be commercial vehicle drivers who don't maintain their vehicles, and private vehicle drivers who maintain the vehicles. Are you concerned with pollution, or are you concerned with increasing sales of cars?
Your Lordships, in the present case, the government is concerned with the pollution itself. As the
It
country
does
is a
not
very
appear
large
so, council.
country,
It does not
uh,
appear so.
Your Lordship, if the
Okay,
implementation
what is
needs to
the
be
survey
very,
that you have done? What is the source of pollution? Let us say every year in the capital city, you are having so much of pollution. Schools have to be shut down, offices have to be shut down. Pollution lockdown has to be created every year. What is the source? Is there any study which you can quote which says that the source of vehicular pollution is 10%, 20%, 40%, 30%? Any study you have?
yes, Your Lordship, in the proposition itself, Annexure 1 is attached where the air quality index for the cities of for 8 cities has been given, where worldwide ambient of pollution has been accounted for with the percentage, and where it is also air quality index is also mentioned, and
No, but
other
what is
factors.
the share of, see, different things are causing pollution. The government of India's affidavit says that the pollution is coming from Pakistan. Is that logical? The one day you are saying in court that the share of pollution is vehicular pollution is 10%. Next day you are saying 40%. Where is the study? Where is the data?
The data has been collected by the government in its study on, under the annexes that has been given. It's the national on which the national vehicle scrapping policy has been relied on. So study is being mentioned over there.
Okay, fair enough. Please proceed.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. Uh, in the present case, freedom of business is not cannot be uncontrollable, and reasonable restrictions can be imposed. And therefore, as the right to have a clean environment can have precedence over the economic interest of the society, so the policy is valid.
Okay,
And it is
council,
for
as per the time distribution, I think your time is up, but we will give you another 1 minute to wind up your submissions. No problem.
much
Court Master,
obliged, Your
please
Lordship.
remind after 1 minute. Yes, please
Much
proceed.
obliged, Your Lordship. It is submitted that the present policy, motor vehicle policy as contained in the Annexure 1 is very well valid, and the red petition cannot be maintained as the other mentioning about the Association of Drugs versus Development Corporation case 2002 ALT 593. It was held that courts are not inclined to strike down a policy at the behest of a petitioner merely because it has been urged that a different policy would have been fairer. Also, the Supreme Court in the iodine salt case WPC 80 of 2006 held that interference in policy action is not within its jurisdiction. Moving on to the next issue, as due to the shortage of time, I would like to sum it up about Article 14, whether it is being violated here or not. Your Lordship, the question of violation of Article 14 by Constitution of Indonesia is completely baseless. And in support of that statement, the Council would like to address the case of the Ram Krishna Dalmia versus Delhi administration, in which Supreme Court had presumed that the constitutionality of enactment. It shall be assumed that the government has made the law in the bona fide manner for public, and the burden is upon the person who challenges it to show that there is a clear transgression of the constitutional principle. Therefore, it shall be assumed that the present law is not arbitrary and directed towards the need of the society. As per the survey reports,
Yes, please proceed.
as per the survey reports in the Annexure 1, the air pollution in 8 metropolitan cities was alarming, and therefore it was the utmost need of the society to enact such provisions. Further, Your Lordship.
Fair enough, Council. I think the time is up. So we will hear your co-counsel. Thank you for your arguments.
Thank you, Your Lordship. The Council would like to hand over the dais to the co-counsel.
Please proceed.
Greetings to Your Lordship. The Council seeks permission to proceed with next issue.
Yes, please.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, issue 2 is whether the vehicle scrappage policy is violative of the fundamental rights. It is humbly submitted before Your Lordship that the vehicle scrappage policy is not violative of any of the fundamental rights. It is not violating Article 21 or 19. Firstly, the Council will submit that it is not violating Article 21. Your Lordship, Article 21 says that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to the procedure established by law.
Again, Council, we will ask you the same thing. Modern Dental College, that lays down the test for proportionality. So you are, yes, you have the power under 19(6) to deprive a person of the right to carry out a particular business, but it has to be done in a manner so as to not violate his right under 19(1)(g). So what are the rules laid down under Modern Dental College, and how are you following them, or are you not following them? This is the most important judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court on this particular point. Yes.
Your Lordship, firstly, the Council will submit how it is not violating Article 21. Later on, I will submit how it is not violating Article 19(1)(g). Firstly, I will deal with Article 21. If Your Lordship is satisfied, may I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, Article 21 says that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to the procedure established by law. Your Lordship, here we contend that there is procedure established by law under which this policy is implemented. Your Lordship, under Section 59 of the Motor Vehicle Act, this policy is implemented. Under this section, central government has the power to fix the age of the vehicle. And in the present policy, also the government has fixed the age of the vehicle. Therefore, it is in accordance with the Motor Vehicle Act. Petitioners cannot say that their right to livelihood is being violated when it is in accordance with the procedure. Moreover, Your Lordship, this policy is derives its functionality from the DPSPs under Article 47 and 48A. Your Lordship's Article 47 says that it is the duty of the state to improve public health. And under Article 48A, it casts a duty on the state to improve and protect the environment. Therefore, it is the obligation of the state to protect the environment and improve the public health.
Council, you are doing nothing about the other issues. You are just getting after the vehicle owners. There is so much of other things which are contributing to pollution. Crop burning is happening. The construction dust is happening. You are not doing, firecrackers are happening. You are not doing anything about those issues. You have come out with an unreasonable, unscientific policy. Please satisfy us on that count.
Much obliged for the question, Your Lordship. But Your Lordship, just because there are many other options to reduce the pollution, we cannot say that the present initiative taken by the government is not reasonable. Your Lordship, if you would see the Annexure 1, under which it is clearly written what these cities are polluting very much. Therefore, this policy, there was a need of this policy. That why.
Yes, but it does not mention anywhere in the annexure that the what is the share of the vehicular pollution, and amongst vehicular pollution, what is the share for the commercial vehicles and what is the share for the private vehicles? How can you say that a vehicle which has run 1 lakh kilometer is equal to a vehicle which is running 15 lakh kilometers? And similarly, a vehicle which has run 1 lakh is better maintained and a vehicle which is 15 lakh is not well maintained. So these are the certain things.
Of course, Your Lordship, but under this policy, there is a facility of fitness test is also available. If the vehicle is perfectly fit, then it will not be scrapped. Therefore, if it has not if it is fit, then
Is
it
it
will.
possible in Delhi to register a vehicle for more than 15 years and more than 10 years, or any of these metropolitan cities, not just the city of Delhi, but all of these cities which are there, the cities which are there, is it possible that in these 8 cities you can have a vehicle which is more than 8 years? The Dalmia, the Tatna, the Deolwar, Membad, Mumbai, Laipur, Lucknow, Manpur. Is it possible?
Your Lordship, are you asking if it is fit, it can fly
Yes,
on
you
the
said
road?
that it is, I mean, there is a fitness test is there, and if it is passing the fitness test, it will not be scrapped. So, is it possible if you are clearing the fitness test, the vehicle can continue to ply in these 8 most polluted cities of India?
Yes, Your Lordship. If you may refer to Moot Proposition, paragraph 8, under which it is written here that there is a fitness and emission test. If the vehicle is perfectly fit, then it can ply on roads, even if it is exceeding their age.
One moment, we will just have a look. Mood proposition, para number 8. It is on page number 3, I suppose, of the mood proposition.
Yes, Your
Right?
Lordship.
Due to the said alarming reports of the survey and the increase in number of vehicles, you have set up this facility. And no, where does it say? Okay,
Your Lordship,
mandatorily. Yes,
in the
yes.
ending part. Your Lordship,
The policy mainly covers within its ambits private and commercial vehicles of 10 to 15 years old and passenger vehicles not more than 20 years old. Operative part of the policy provides that such vehicles shall be mandatory scrapped if they do not pass the test. Fair
yes,
enough?
Your Lordship.
Okay, so you are
Means
saying that, yes,
it
this
means
makes
that
sense. Yes,
yes,
please
yes.
proceed. Yes.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. If I will further ahead, Your Lordship, it is not violating Article 21 for another reason as well. Article 21 says that everybody has a right for clean and unpolluted environment, and reliance can be placed on Subhash Kumar versus State of Bihar, that is 2020 Supreme Court judgment. Your Lordship, after the implementation of this policy, people will buy more CNG and electronic vehicle instead of petrol or diesel vehicle. This will improve the environment, not in the present but in the future as well. Therefore, it is in accordance with Article 21. Therefore it is not violating Article 21. Your Lordship, our next submission is that if to save hundreds of lives, if one life is put in peril, and if the law ensures and protects the greater social interest, then such a law shall be regarded as wholesome and beneficial law. Although
Which authority says so? You are saying something very major. Which authority says so?
Your Lordship, I have taken this paragraph from MP Singh 8th edition book, that is on page 1175.
Fair enough. Yes.
Therefore, Your Lordship, we have taken care of the larger public interest. And I would like to refer to some cases that can also prove this
Yes.
further. Lordship, on paragraph 12, in the case of MP and Aditi Samaj Sevi Sansthan versus State of Chhattisgarh, that is 2020 Supreme Court judgment. In this case, Supreme Court observed that when we are concerned with the health of not one citizen, but the entire citizenry of the Indonesia, of the country, then and of course the future generation of the country as well, then the larger public interest has to outweigh the much smaller pecuniary interest of the industry, and in the present case, the automobile industry. Moreover, Your Lordship, in Olga Tallis versus Bombay Municipal Corporation, that is on paragraph 12.2, that is 1985
Council,
Supreme
the
Court
charge
judgment.
against you is that by bringing this policy, you are helping the automobile industry. Because of this policy, more new cars will be sold. That is the charge against you, that you are hand in glove with capitalism. The charge is not that you are killing the automobile industry. The charge is that you are helping them. Yes.
Yes, Your Lordship, this certainly is helping the automobile industry, and here the council, the issue is whether the policy is violative of Article 21, as the petitioners are contending that their right to livelihood is being infringed. Here, the council is submitting how it is not
Are
violating
there
Article.
any other countries which have similar problems? And are there any other countries which have imposed similar laws, similar
Indeed,
vehicle scrappage policy?
indeed, Your Lordship, countries like USA, Canada, and
Can we
Australia.
compare ourselves with these countries? What is the per capita income in these countries?
Of course, Your Lordship, it is different, but as if we
Laws
keep.
have to be in Indian social economic context. Council, you have not been able to satisfy us. We will scrap your policy.
Now, Your Lordship, we can implement in India as well. Why can't we implement in our country this policy?
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I think your time is up. Please proceed. Wind up your arguments, please. Take 1 more minute.
Yes, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, this policy is also not violating Article 19(1)(g) as well. Article 19(1)(g) says that everybody has right to carry on their trade, business, or occupation. But Your Lordship, this right is not absolute, and certain restrictions can be imposed on this right under Article 19, Clause 6. Your Lordship, the council would cite some cases which can prove that the petitioner should not carry on this
Please be
business.
very, very brief, Council. Yes.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Just give the names of the cases, the
Uh,
authorities you are relying on.
yes, Your Lordship. Pyarelal versus New Delhi Municipal Committee and Fertilizer
Again,
Corporation.
Council, this is such an old case. How does that help you today?
Yes, Your Lordship, I will cite a new case, that is Indian Handicraft Emporium versus Union of India. That is 2003 Supreme Court judgment. In this case, Supreme Court held that one cannot do any business or trade that is dangerous to ecology. And here the petitioners are doing their trade, business, or occupation that is dangerous to environment.
See, Council, we told the other side also, you are citing cases which are 50 years old. Of course, the second case is 20 years old. The first case that you have cited is 50 years old, more than 50 years old. So
Yes,
the world has changed since then. Modern day world changes very fast, Council. Yes.
We request you to take your attention on 2003 case only then.
Yes, please proceed.
Therefore, we
Okay, just
submit.
come to your prayer, Council, because the time is up. The court has a lot of other matters to take care of. Please come to your prayer.
Okay, much obliged, Your Lordship. Your Lordships, in the light of the issue raised, arguments advanced, and the authority cited, the respondents respectfully request this honorable court to adjudge and be pleased to dismiss the writ petition and declare that the policy has not violated the fundamental rights of the petitioners. All of which is humbly and respectfully submitted. It was a pleasure arguing before the court.
Thank you very much, Madam Council. Courtmaster, as per rules, do you allow rebuttal, sir rebuttal?
No, sir. No, Your
Okay,
Lordship.
fair enough. So that completes the moot. Thank you very much to all the participants.
Thank you, Dr. Siroi. I thank the team for their wonderful efforts to put up this demo. I now invite Sir to please say a few words to our attendees, as well as a sort of a feedback on the performance.
Okay, thank you very much, Anjali. Thank you for the organizers for this moot. This kind of a demo moot exercise is a very important event for teaching the people the people who are mooting for the first time to teach. I would like to thank the Moot Court Society for putting together the event, Dr. Ashutosh Acharya, Pramod ji, and all the other people who have been working behind the scenes to promote. Kiran Gupta madam is also here. So good afternoon, ma'am, and welcome. So the entire team has put up a very good show. Just specifically with regards to the aspects which have been talked about, see, this team has won a prize and they've obviously done very well. So, however, there is always room for improvement. And the room for improvement, what I would specifically say for each of these four speakers, first speaker, Abhinandan. I got the impression that he was a little rattled by the questions of the court. So no judge is going to eat you up. And what we are putting you through here is not even 1% of what happens in an actual court. So those of us, Pramod ji has been a judge, and so many others have actually been to a court, Ashutosh, Kiran ma'am. So we will, what actually happens, and judges don't have time. There is the entire US Supreme Court hears 70 matters in a day. And the Indian Supreme Court hears, each judge hears about 100 plus matters on every Monday and Friday. So please see the difference. In 1 year, 70 matters, one court, 100 and plus matters, 140 sometimes in one day. So in SLP, those are taken up. Just about 2% will be admitted, 3% will be admitted. But anyhow, so there is a huge burden on the judges. Don't get flustered. Stick to your points. Sometimes law will be on your side. Sometimes fact will be on your side. Sometimes neither will be on your side. So be very polite. And that is all court craft. You have to see how which judge reacts in which manner. You have to be very careful. You have to have all your authorities with you all the time. And you will prepare. और एक और चीज, बहुत ज्यादा तेज नहीं बोलना, जल्दी जल्दी नहीं बोलना, because you have prepared enough material. You have to be very well prepared when you go to a real court or a moot court. Enough material to fill a suitcase, minimum, in terms of matter, in terms of material. But all that cannot be spoken. You will be given only 8 or 7 or 10 minutes per speaker. So उस हिसाब से बोलना है, and you have to be ready for interjections, etc. Okay, so the second speaker, again, Saipriya. You people did not know about Modern Dental College, which is landmark. You did not know about this one, the privacy judgment, which is a landmark judgment, Puttaswamy. So you cannot afford to gloss over these things. Okay, these are very, very important ones. Again, the same goes for respondents. आप लोगों को भी ये नहीं पता था. This is a case which is directly on the point. I don't mean to criticize. At your age, we probably did not know anything about mooting. But since now there is the culture of mooting, there is so you have to know ये वाला जजमेंट कितनी बेंच थी, एंड जितना रिसेंट होगा उतनी ज्यादा उसकी परसेसिव वैल्यू है. 1950s के जजमेंट मत कोट करिए अगर 2020 का जजमेंट अवेलेबल है उसी पॉइंट पे. Yes, if there is no judgment in 2020, of course, there are classics. There will be only one Keshwananda Bharti unless it is overridden. There will be only one Indra Sahni until it is overridden. Right? So, yes, of course, those are classics. You will find Privy Council judgments also. Mori Bibi padhate hain hum log. But if there is a recent judgment, especially in constitution law, please come up with the recent judgment. Okay. Specifically, Deepthi, your ability to answer the questions of the court is very good. And but court craft thoda sa seekhne ki zarurat hai. Again, Ritu, whenever I was asking a direct question and you did not know the answer, you kind of tended to handle it well. जो अच्छा है. Okay, किसी के पास सारे आंसर नहीं होते, जो जज पूछता है या जो इंटरव्यू में पूछता है. So I think with these words, I will just wish you all the very best, and I will hand it over back to Anjali. And I think you have displayed a very good, put up a very good display for the new people, and wish you all the best. Over to you, Anjali.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We couldn't have asked for a better judge either for this moot or like better feedback. So thank you so much, sir. I'm sure the participants as well as our attendees are going to take away a lot from your feedback. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We also now have our teacher convener, Kiran ma'am, with us. Thank you for joining us, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am, most welcome, ma'am. Thank you.
Namaskar.
Before we begin the Q&A, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Ashutosh Acharya to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, Anjali. First of all, I welcome all the new entrants and the first years of Law Center 2. A hearty welcome to all of you on behalf of the Moot Court Committee and on behalf of Professor Kiran Gupta ma'am, especially, and all the faculty members who have joined today. So I'll just spare 5 minutes because my learned brother, Professor Sirohi, has already done a wonderful job by telling us how to do moots along with the 4 students, and what are the to an extent, he has already dealt with what are the benefits of Moot indirectly. So what I'm going to do is add to what he has already told us. So why should we do Moots? What help will it provide us as far as doing Moots is concerned? So first of all, as already been told, that you learn craftsmanship, you learn etiquettes, mannerism, etc., how to present yourself in the court. So with this display, which we just had, we can emulate ourselves also doing the same. Maybe improve upon a bit, or maybe add our own spice into it as far as that mannerism is concerned. Because no person is same, every person has its own way of presentation. So use of certain words that we take into account whenever we present ourselves before the court or before a judge is concerned. So etiquette and court mannerism is the essential aspect that we learn as far as mooting at law school is concerned. Very two important things that we learn is knowing the facts and knowing the law. So we need to understand, as my learned brother has already identified, Dr. Siro has already identified, that we must know the material facts, the important facts, because court doesn't have all the day to hear you, and therefore we must know the material, the important facts that we must put through that is going to help your case, and also come up with laws which will include precedents, which will include important cases, which may be classic case or the latest case, which will be dependent upon the research that you have made. So the important part should come first, and you must emphasize upon those important parts, be it is connected with the fact, or is connected with a law or a law. So they must come first, and you must emphasize upon that. Also, you learn to be prompt, which I think Sir has also identified that Deepthi was quite prompt in her answers as far as questions from judge is concerned. So promptness is another thing that you learn. Now this learning exercise comes only with practice. All of us, since all of you have just entered into a law school, so we cannot expect you to have learned it at a prior hand. Through these practices, through this, once you go through these processes, once you do it at university level or college level, then you go for some national moot, you participate in some national moot or an international moot. Then you learn by doing these things. So in these 3 years, it is up to you how maximum you utilize your time and energy in order to prepare yourself to be on the forefront or at the forefront of the profession. So you can excel, you can do much better if you devote your time in learning many skills. One of the important skill, another skill as far as this profession is concerned is research. So research is an important tool. You may become a judge, you may become a lawyer, you may become an in-house practitioner, you may choose to be an academician, you may choose to be any other, you may choose to have any other role as far as law as a profession is concerned. But you cannot spare yourself from research. So when I talk about research, you must be handy with all the tools of research. So you must know how to use Manupatra SEC as far as research of cases are concerned. You must know how to search cases as far as AIR is concerned. You must know how to use eOnline, Westlaw, LexisNexis, the modern tools that we have now, so that you can research if there's a problem or an issue which concerns international matters or national matters. So if you're well versed with your background study, you will never have a problem as far as promptness is concerned, because it's there in your subconscious, and the moment question comes to you from any of the aspect with respect to that issue, then you will be able to answer and you will be prompt. So research is one of the important aspect as far as this profession is concerned. And mooting teaches you research. You see, everywhere you go, there is a prize for best memorial, best researcher, apart from best speaker and best team. Okay, so it's been given a very important part. Apart from that, you learn to work in a team framework. Okay, it's not a individual show. So you learn to get accompanied with people whom you are not friends with. Maybe you have not spoken to them prior to any particular competition. But when you form a team, you adjust, you learn to adjust, you learn to accept, you learn to listen to other people, you learn to convey your thought process, and you learn to convey your information. So this whole deliberation of teamwork teaches you a lot of things. I cannot identify and point out all the things what we learn. It's a process that can be experienced more and can be talked of a little less. So this experience, I can guarantee you, is lifetime. This teamwork. Sometimes you meet the person for the first time during the moots, and he or she becomes your lifetime friend, or it's a relationship which you will carry forward for a future transactions also. So this gives you some challenging aspect. So all in all, if you look at the mooting process, it poses before you a number of new challenges, be it research, be it teamwork, be it writing, be it presentation, be it etiquette, mannerism. All of them poses a certain level of challenge before you, and you learn to face these new challenges and deal with new challenges. So it's not only a professional lesson, but I consider mooting as a life lesson for the ones who cherish, for the ones who enjoy doing moots. So I would suggest all of you to enjoy this opportunity that the center provides and enjoy the art of mooting and excel at it. Let me guarantee you, you will excel at any profession if you have done mooting. I'm not saying that you must win mooting, but you must try to improve by at least participating in the exercise of mooting and the opportunities that come to your way. So with this, I think I will stop here now. I will not take much of your time. And I would lastly thank our convener, faculty convener, under whose guidance we have organized this.
Thanks to whole of my team, teachers as well as students.
That's so
my team
nice
is working very well.
So yeah, so I would first of all certainly thank ma'am, because she gives us a free hand in our working process, especially to the students who work day and night to make things possible for us. So thank you so much, ma'am, for being so nice. And
Ashutosh, can I just say one thing? I think, as Kiran ma'am has also said, and it is my firm belief, I always say this at every fora, all these societies which are there which are there in college, they are actually meant to be run by students. We are just facilitators. We are just guiding people. We are not supposed to be running them. So the work has actually to be done by the MCS themselves. So the student convener, the other people involved. So they have a role to play. And these students who are now seeking to become members of this society, they should also be participating themselves. The students are the ones who have to do it. It's not teachers' job.
Right.
So,
Sir.
Please.
Totally agree, sir. Totally agree.
Yeah, Moot Court Society students, they are working very hard. Whenever I get any invitation from any institution for mooting competition, I immediately forward it to Anjali, because she is the convener.
Yes.
And she immediately took action and sent it in the mood in our group. So committee is doing very well. I am fully satisfied with my teacher members as well as student members.
Thank you. So next, I would thank my colleague, my learned brother, who has put in a lot of effort, I would say, in this orientation. And whenever we ask him, especially Anjali, whenever he calls up Professor Siroi, he is always there to help the committee out, and today also is done a wonderful job by judging the demo moot and guiding all the first years that how they can improve as far as the art of mooting is concerned. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
As far as the problem is concerned, preparing of the problem, as far as judging of the moot court demo moot is concerned. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And I would also thank my fellow colleagues. Pramod Tiwari sir is there. I would thank him. And I cannot go down to the students before I thank a person who is not part of the moot court society, but is always there for us. And he is Professor Dr. Ajay Sonwane sir. And he's been tremendous, and he's been fantastic person. He's a very humble human being, and he never says no to anything, be it uploading of notices, be it putting the show live on YouTube is concerned. Thank you so much, Ajay sir, for helping us out with respect to all the technical aspects. Thank you so much. Next, I would thank our student convener, Anjali, who has been working day and night as far as organization of this orientation program is concerned, or any other program or opportunity with respect to mooting, etc. is concerned. She is a humble person, and she has been working tirelessly as far as the excellence of the committee and its progress is concerned. Thank you so much, Anjali, and his and her deputies Vivek and Himanshu, who are behind the scenes, but always their work is in the forefront, and they are also really nice students. They have been really nice, and they have been working also tirelessly as far as the working of the committee is concerned. And they will always be there whenever you ask. This is for the first years, that if you have any problem and you seek any help, you can always call them, message them. They are really helpful. And I would also thank Sai Priya Reddy, Abhinandan Singh, Deepthi, and Ritu for agreeing to be presenting this demo moot. Thank you so much, all four of you, for presenting the demo moot to the first years. And lastly, thanks to all the participants, all the first years, for joining today and making this program a success.
We have to thank Dr. Ashutosh. Actually, he is, whenever there is some event that is to be done with regards to MCS, he is always, I think he is a live wire in the MCS camp. He's always after me, sir, ye wala mood judge kar lo, ye wala problem dekh lo. So I think, yes, Dr. Ashutosh also deserves a big hand. So, yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, over to you, Anjali.
Anjali, I just want to say one thing. We used to organize that annual Sachin Puri Memorial Moot Court. When can we have it? Now that we can have it offline.
SK Puri Memorial.
SK Puri Memorial.
Sachin Puri.
Ma'am, right after we have completed the schedule for this induction program, we will constitute the new MCS, and all members will sit down to draft out the schedule for this year's SK Puri Memorial, ma'am.
But classes will be up to 23rd. Second year and third year classes will be up to 23rd. And yes, exams will start from 4th of April.
Yes, ma'am. We will most certainly be able to organize it after the 5th semester exams, like the exams that are supposed to happen in April. And the schedule will be for after April only, but we can definitely start planning the schedule right after this induction process is over.
Okay. We can have it anytime in May. So yes, by that time, first year, second year, third year, all the students will be experienced students.
Yes, ma'am.
So Ashutosh, Parikshit, start working on that also.
Yes.
You have the number of SK Puri?
Yes, ma'am.
I will contact you, sir. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have it, please send it to me. I will talk to him.
Sure, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. I will just send.
Someone is asking, can't we take part in Luthra Moot Court competition? We can.
Ma'am, we will be addressing.
So
yeah,
I
ma'am.
think-
We will be taking all of these questions after the announcements, ma'am.
Yeah. So Luthra Moot, they send the invitation to us as they send to everyone else. Absolutely,
Yes.
you can.
Yes. So continuing, I would just like to extend a really heartfelt thanks to every faculty member who could spare time on their one free day to come and be with us. And especially hearing from Ashutosh sir, Kiran ma'am, and Parikshit sir, it really fills the heart, because all of our efforts come full circle hearing that, they're encouraged and appreciated in this way. So we're really, really lucky here at the MCS to have such teachers supporting us and being behind us at every step. So thank you so much. Before we proceed, I have a few important announcements to make, so please take note. The Moot problem for the upcoming induction will be along with the rule book will be released later today. Please check the Law Center 2 website and our LinkedIn page for the same. When the problem and the rule book is released, please read both of them very carefully. The schedule for the memorial submission and oral rounds shall also be given in the rule book. There shall also be a workshop on oral submissions on the 20th of February, which will be fruitful for all of the induction participants to attend. With that, we begin the Q&A session. Vivek shall be taking questions submitted on Google Meet, while Himanshu will be taking questions from YouTube. So our attendees on both platforms can submit their queries. Please refrain from turning on your mic to ask any follow-up questions. So Vivek, shall we proceed? We already have a few questions in the chats.
Yeah.
And let's please begin.
Okay. So first we'll start with Devesh's question. So he asked, don't we have FIM for LC2 like in CLC, or is it straight to CIM over here in our center? So Devesh, it is straight CIM in our center, but it is not like that first years and second years or third years are judged in the similar manner. So we have different judging patterns that cannot be shared right now, but we have different judging patterns for that. So Udita asks, I have a doubt regarding presentation. Is it individually or team? So there'll be, we have the individual presentation. So Udita, you have to make memorial from only one side and you have to present individually. Can we not participate in the KK Luthra Moot? As Dr. Parikshit sir informed you, we can participate in the KK Luthra Moot. Shubham asks, will there be any formal training for preparing students for mooting? Shubham, we have organized certain workshops on mooting, so they are available on our YouTube channel, and we are also having a workshop regarding the same on next Sunday. So please keep a tab on your email address and the website of Law Center 2. So we'll be posting updates on that. Pallavi asks, good afternoon, teachers and MCS members. I humbly request you to upload the memorial, as it could be a great help when it comes to drafting it. Yeah, Pallavi, we'll be uploading this memorial on our LinkedIn page. So please keep a note of that. Will the entire process of induction be online?
I will just interrupt you, Vivek. As far as the memorial part is concerned, you can all Google it out. There are, the best memorials of various moot courts, international as well as nationals, are available, easily accessible on Google. आप निकाल के वो देख सकते हैं.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, over to you.
Thank you, sir. So Namya asks, will the entire process of induction be online? Yes, the entire process will be online. Avantika asks, is this upcoming mooting for only first years? No, Avantika, this upcoming mooting, this common induction moot is open for all years. So students from all years, they have to be the bona fide students of Law Center 2. So any student of any year can participate in it. I think we have these many questions here. Himanshu, do we have any questions on the YouTube channel?
Yes, we have a question on YouTube Live.
Yeah, please.
Yes, how to make a memorial and what about a session for this? We already had a workshop on how to make memorials that is uploaded on our YouTube channel, Law Center 2. You can refer it there. We don't have any further question on YouTube Lives.
So we have one here. Does the society participate institutionally in other competitions like trial courts, ADR, client counseling, etc.? Or is it an individual capacity? No. In competitions like these, trial courts, moot court competitions of other college, we participate as students of this society represent Law Center 2. So we participate as a team. What will be your criteria to select students as part of NCS? We won't be putting out the exact criteria, but yeah, the details which are necessary for your consideration will be put up, as Anjali said, in the rule book and along with the memorial. Our Jigyasa asks, are non-MCS members eligible to participate independently in such competitions? No, only MCS members are eligible to participate in such competitions. I think we have these many questions.
We have a question on YouTube Live. Will there be a session on codecraft? We don't have a specific session for codecraft, but we will be dealing it in 20th workshop that will be scheduled on 20th of February.
And can I just add to what Himanshu has said on Codecraft? The best way to learn is whenever you are going on internship, don't waste time in chai, coffee, and gossiping. Please sit in the courts. If your matter is over, you will be watching, and your matter is over. Go and see senior advocates arguing. Go and see you will get to know who the top guys are. In every profession, everybody knows who the top guys are. The top 10 guys, everybody knows. They will all be always arguing. They will be finishing from one court, running to the next, and please run after them. See how they are arguing, and that is how you will learn the court craft. When fact is on your side, go on fact. When law is on your side, go on law. And when nothing is on your side, then go after the judge in a polite way. Yes.
Thank you, sir. So Amisha asks, the Moot proposition will be up on the website, right? Yeah, the Moot proposition will be up on the website. And what we have done is we have created a Google Drive folder. So, and we'll share the link of that folder. So every relevant information shall be uploaded on that Google Drive. So it will be easy for every member to just regularly check their email address, website of Law Center 2, and that specific folder to get recent updates regarding this common induction. Udita, your question is, I think, incomplete. Can you please elaborate the question? Anything about voluntary? Please elaborate your question. So Ritendra asks, can any law graduate take part in international Moot competition? And if yes, how can they take part in? So yes, law graduate, and specifically in our case, MCS member can take part in the international Moot court competitions.
I think he's asking about law graduate. Law students can participate.
Sorry, sir. So law student can take part in the competition.
Yeah. So you must be enrolled in LLB course, unless and until the competition allows you to be a student of LLM as well, in which case you will be law graduate.
Yes, Amisha, the Google Drive link will be mailed to you.
Vivek, also apart from emailing it to the people who have sent in their registered email IDs, who have registered for this process, the Google Drive link will also be available on the LC2 website as well as the LinkedIn page of Moot Court Society Law Center 2.
Yeah, okay. So Udita asks, can we take part as volunteer in Moot Court Society? Yes, you can definitely take part as a volunteer. So we have put up a form for volunteers also. So we need certain volunteers for this common induction mode. So you can definitely take part in that as well.
We have a question that, is there any selection limit as far as number is concerned? As we prefer quality over quantity, we don't have any specific number. As far as your quality is good, you will be selected in the society. And next question that we have, if anyone is not selected in the society, how we can learn? Is there any other way to join or something else? There is no other way to join in the society. You have to wait till next year to the next common induction vote.
Yeah, a similar question is asked by Ritendra also. So what if students are not participate in MCS, then how can they become part of MCS? To become a part of this society, you have to participate in the common induction vote. So this is the only way of becoming a part of this society. Yeah, I think Deepika I answered Pallavi's question.
Pallavi asked that whether the college reopening will affect the induction moot. So just to answer Pallavi and Deepika's question both, no, there will be no effect on the way we conduct the induction moot. It will still happen online, even if the college reopens on the 17th. And as for the age limit, that is Jagdish's question. So Jagdish, there are some competitions that happen nationally and internationally that will mention in their rules that only people up to the age of 21 can participate, or up to the age of 27 can participate, and so on and so forth. But majority of the competitions don't mention such an age limit. So if you are a bona fide student, you will be able to participate in competitions that do not mention an age limit. However, if a specific age limit is mentioned, then we have to adhere by that.
Yeah, thank you, Anjali. So the next question is, I think, from Mariam. So can only MCS members take part in national and international moots? Yes, only MCS members can take part. Neha asks, do we have to choose which side we want to represent before court, or will we be given by it? No. So this depends on your preference. You can choose the side to represent. Namya asks, there is no age limit for induction in LC2. No, there is no age limit in induction in LC2. You just have to be a bona fide student of Law Center 2 of any year, like first year, second year, third year. All years are eligible to participate in it. Himanshu, do we have any question there on YouTube Live?
We have a question that can a person be a part of two societies simultaneously? Yes, there is no such a bar on joining any number of societies. And there is also a request of many students that a number of people will be shifting in Delhi due to college reopening. So keep the date of submissions be a little late. We will consider this fact. We are also considering this fact. Rest assured, we will take the best possible outline of the time.
Okay, so Ariba asks, can we write our arguments on a sheet of paper and speak from it? So Ariba, it is not advised to just read out from a piece of paper. What you can do is you can jot down important points of your arguments and then make a flow, practice a flow, and then speak with that flow. It is not advised to just read out from a piece of paper or from your memorial for that matter. Sandeep, you can watch this entire session, the entire demo moot on our YouTube Live, on our YouTube channel. So it will be there after this session also, and it is going live also.
But Vivek, I'll just quickly recap very, very briefly what we are expecting from the induction. Shall I do that? Yeah. Okay. So this is for the benefit of all our attendees, that after today's orientation program, we will be releasing a moot problem, which is the problem for the induction moot. What you need to do is read that problem, choose the side, whether you'll be going as the petitioner or the respondent. Accordingly, you will have to make a memorial. Now, what a memorial is and how to make it, to understand that, you can go on the Law Center 2 YouTube channel. In the Moot Court Society playlist, there is a video about legal research and memorial drafting. Okay, so from that, plus the rules that we send along with the moot problem, you will be able to understand how to make a memorial. After you make your memorial, we will also be releasing a date of submission. So after you have made your memorial, you have to submit your memorial on or before that due date. Any memorials that come after that will not be accepted, and if you are not able to submit your memorial by the deadline, you will automatically be disqualified from the induction process. So please make sure that you respect the submission deadline. After you have made your memorial submission, after a few days, you will have your oral submission. So you can use the time in between to practice your orals. And as Ariba asked, that whether we should write down a script to read from, judges usually don't appreciate that you're simply reading out something. So take that time to understand your arguments better and to frame them properly. And then on the day of your oral submissions, you will be allotted a time slot and a courtroom. Courtroom will basically be a Google Meet link that you will have to join, where a judge will be present and you will have to present your oral arguments. For this induction moot, everybody will be judged individually on their performance. There will be no team, right? So yeah, and all the other details regarding oral submissions, the time distribution, how and which side to represent, all of those things will be given in the rule book that will come out along with the moot proposition. So I hope that answers all of the questions. If there's anything else, you can mention that in the chat box. Himanshu, I think there are questions waiting on
One second,
YouTube.
just to add
Okay,
what,
okay. Yeah.
just to add what Anjali said. So this time, what we have done is we have created a Google form for submission. So we won't be entertaining the memorial submission from any other mode, like emailing it to the MCS or sending out through your personal email ID. So we won't be accepting memorial from any of the in any of the other manner except that Google form, which will be circulated in due time. So what you have to do is you have to just upload your memorial through that Google form. Those memorials will only be taken into consideration this time. So I'll just take 2-3 questions here and then we can switch to YouTube Live. So yeah, Utkarsh, we will switch to YouTube Live. So Jayati asks, so it's up to us which side do we have to present? Yes, it is entirely up to you. What about dress? Again, you have to follow Shubham entire moot court etiquettes, and about the dress and everything will be there in the rule book. So please refer to that. So we'll be putting out the rule book by the end of the day. Shankar Alam says, I haven't submitted any form till now. Can I submit memorial on Google form? Shakar, sorry. So Shakar, you have to first fill up the registration form. I hope you have, or if you haven't, we are keeping the registration form open till tomorrow. So anybody who hasn't submitted the Google form, the registration form, have time till tomorrow. So you can submit that form. And after that, we'll be putting up clarification form and other things in due course of time. Pallavi asks, will it be one-on-one between the presenter and the judge during the oral induction? Yes, it will be one-on-one. Avantika Srivastava asks, do consider the dates regarding submissions. A lot of chaos is going on. Yes, Avantika, everything will be considered. Your convenience and the convenience in general will also be considered before putting up any date. So Himanshu, do we have any questions? Any new questions on YouTube?
The question that when can we get a sample of memorial? Yes, you will definitely get a sample memorial. And the next question is that next week many students are shifting, and for which there is any shift and submission timeline that will be released with the rule book today. And the next question is, what are the things we as a students who are new to mooting should focus on for better chances of getting into MCS? As mooting is a skill, it can't be developed in a one day. You have to focus on better research, good quality research, and presenting the arguments in a structured way.
Is that all, Himanshu, on YouTube?
Yeah, till now we have one more question as of now. Is there anything like whosoever memos is shortlisted, they will be presenting orally, or everyone presents it? Unless and until your memorial is abiding by the guidelines given in the rule book, you will get a chance to be present in the oral rounds. Yeah, that's all for YouTube Live.
Vivek, let's take this round of questions from the chat as well. Yeah.
So I think Bhavna's question has been answered by Himanshu. So will we be screened on the basis of memorial as well? Yes. So we have both memorial and oral round marks separately.
Yeah, and a detailed marking pattern will be shared in the rule book that will come out along with the moot prop.
Yeah. So Harshita asks, do we need to miss semester classes for participating fully in MCS if selected as student member? No, definitely not. It is very well manageable. We all have been doing this since last 2.5 years. So you can manage your semester classes along with participating in the moot court competition. Thank you, Ratna. So Pallavi asks, as we have just joined law college, will the moot problem be related to the subjects that we have in this semester? Yeah, the moot problem will be. Yeah, Anjali, you want to answer?
Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, you can also answer that. No issues.
Okay. So Pallavi, see, of course, since this is just an induction moot, we do want to, be near your comfort area. However, just always keep in mind that even when you join the MCS, never only look at the subject matter of a moot while you're selecting it. Because even if you are unfamiliar with the area of subject matter, you can all you have to do is apply your legal mind, apply legal acumen. It is not purely about the subject matter. People learn newer subject matters like arbitration law and competition law right before their competitions or for a specific competition. The subject matter should never keep you away from participating in a moot court competition, because the whole idea of a moot court competition is to engage your legal acumen rather than to see how much of a subject you know. Of course, that is an aspect, but that is not the sole judging criteria. So you should always focus on whether the problem interests you rather than on what is the problem about. So that's all I would like to say about that. Vivek, if you have anything to add, please go ahead.
No, that was fine. That was absolutely fine. So next, do we have any new question? Yeah, thank you, Udita, Ekanshi, Madhu, Preta, Amnisha, Ayushi, Divya, Shubham. So, Anjali, can we have this session for like 5 minutes?
Do you want to continue for another 5 minutes?
Yeah, let's wait for another 5 minutes, see if we get any new questions here or on YouTube Live.
Absolutely, sure.
Okay. So, Himanshu, do we have any new questions?
No, as of now, we don't have any new questions.
Anybody who wants to ask any question, you can ask. We'll be holding this session for next 5 minutes, 5 more minutes. So if you want to ask any question, want any clarification, you can.
All right, so I will add a little bit of it to the last question, that will you always have a moot problem from the subject that you have already studied? I would say 99% of the time you will not have problem from the subject that you have already studied. Anjali was quite modest in answering that question, but I would be ruthless in informing you that you will be getting problems on the topics that are quite recent. So, for example, yesterday me and Parikshit sir, we were judging a moot court, and the problem was based on cryptocurrency. So, if you go for international moot courts like JESAF and Stetson, you will get problems on which there is no settled legal position, and you will have to argue on these live problems. When I say live problems, that means that problem is still being discussed live. I mean, the problem is still alive as far as the world contemporary situation is concerned. So sometimes you will not get anything as far as a settled legal position on your argument is concerned. And there comes your creativity, that how from the existing legal positions you take help and take legal points from the cases or from the laws already in existence, be it soft law or hard law, and support your argument so that what you want to argue can be accepted by the court. So, as I told you, that it is a challenging task. Mooting is a challenging task. It puts a lot of pressure upon you, and it helps you to develop this. It helps you to learn how to deal with pressure. So managing classes along with the moots will help you to deal with pressure in the future, because when you will enter into real practice, say for example you become a lawyer, you will not say that I can only handle 10 cases and not 11th case. All right. So you will say yes to everyone if it is 100 cases or 200 cases. And you can do that only if you have learned already, you have already experienced a certain level of pressure. And science says a certain level of stress, limited level of stress, is good for health as far as growth and development as a human being is concerned. So moots help you in that particular aspect also. Lastly, I would say that there are a lot of career options that opens up for you once you are well versed with the tactics and skills of mooting. And I would also invite all of you, since we are opening on 17th, If you have any problem, always reach to the subject expert. So if there is a moot problem on, let's say, environmental law, reach to the subject expert of environmental law. In Law Center 2, we have subject experts of every subject that exists. So you just need to identify who is the faculty member who teaches that particular subject. Reach out to him or her and ask for help. You will receive all the help that you seek and guidance. With this, I will stop. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Ashutosh, I believe the student want to know whether this moot problem for induction is relating to the subject they have already studied or not.
Since it's on, I'm not supposed to disclose the subject area. For first years, I would say yes. It is the subject that they have not completely studied.
Yeah.
For second years and third years, it might be a case that they have studied it.
First year students are very new to it, and this induction program is
there will be. Yes, so there will be an equitable, as Parikshit sir has also said, that we will not treat equally third years and first years. There will be equitable treatment as far as third years and first years are concerned.
Yeah.
All.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. So I believe we do not have any new question here.
Questions on YouTube Live.
Yeah.
Yes. On 20th February, there will be a session on oral submissions. Yes, we definitely have a workshop on oral submissions on 20th of February. And the oral submissions need to be in English only. You can't go bilingual. And after the oral submissions, you will mark both on your memorials as well as your oral submissions. Thank you. That's it, Vivek. We can wind up the session.
Okay, so I believe all the questions have been answered from here and YouTube Live also. So thank you, everyone, and over to you, Anjali.
Thank you, Vivek and Himanshu. With that, we conclude today's orientation program. I thank all of you for joining and making this a fruitful session. Please keep an eye out for the release of the moot proposition. So thank you and have a wonderful day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thanks to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ashutosh.